My question is to the Prime Minister. Can the Prime Minister confirm Australia has a core inflation rate higher than the US, the UK and the euro area?
The question was almost word for word with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition. The Prime Minister has answered this question, so I'll order. I'm going to allow. Yeah, well, that's what I'm just about to say. Before I'm going to allow the Prime Minister to answer the question, but strictly understanding orders, questions that have already been asked can't be asked again. Yeah.
Words, Mr Speaker. I mean, this is a very tight question. It hasn't been fully answered. The Prime Minister has not answered that question. And he should be, frankly, Mr Speaker, given some indication now that he needs to answer that question, which he's refused to do so far.
Resume your seat. You may not like the Prime Minister's answer, but he has answered the similar question. Order. I'm going to allow the question, and I give the Prime Minister the call.
Mr Speaker,
Order. The Leader of the Opposition.
He's angry, Mr Speaker. He's angry. He's had the angry pills. I would have thought you had the weekend off. He could have relaxed, chilled out a bit, come here on Monday, be a bit happier. Be a bit happier. Because that's what his groups are telling him. He's got to be happier, Mr Speaker.
The Prime Minister will return to the question.
Smile a bit more. Remember when he ran for the leadership and he was going to smile some more? I remember that press conference.
Order.
That was his core promise, Mr Speaker. But
order. Members on my left, the member for Fairfax.
Have some thought for the poor old shadow treasurer. You get all these economic questions and he can't get one. And he can't get one. He's got backbenchers doing it.
The Prime Minister, the member for Deakin is warned. Order. Members on my right. There's far too much noise. I'll hear from the Leader of the Opposition. A point of order.
Well, Mr Speaker, on relevance, there are millions of Australians who are hurting at the moment because of the decisions of this government. Instead of the hubris, could we answer the question, please? Core inflation is higher than those other countries.
Order. Just going to ask the House to order. If this continues, there will be a general warning issue to people who will leave the chamber. The member for McEwen is warned. When the House comes to order, I want to hear from the Prime Minister regarding this question. Here's the call.
Thank you. When he's finished, Mr Speaker.
The Prime Minister will continue with his answer, and the Leader of the Opposition will cease interjecting
He's very
immediately.
angry, Mr Speaker. He's very angry and frustrated. And I suspect he's angry because he knows.
The member for Petrie is seeking the call. The Prime Minister will pause. Order. Order. The member for Petrie is entitled to be heard on a point of order.
Yeah, thanks, Mr Speaker. It is Standing Order 90, reflections on members. We've had over 1 minute from the Prime Minister, and all of that time he has been reflecting on the Leader of the Opposition and everyone else on this side. Standing Order 90.
Resume your seat. The House is under a general warning now. The next person who interjects will be leaving the chamber. I want to hear from the Leader of the House.
Mr Speaker, practice is quite specific about the sorts of things that constitute reflections on members. Pointing out that the Leader of the Opposition is angry is not covered by that standing order.
I'm just going to ask the Prime Minister to return to the question. We're going to get through this in silence.
Speaker, I'm getting to the question.
Order.
Which is that I too would be angry if I had presided over a 2.1% increase. The largest quarterly increase was in the March 2022. That was the highest inflation this century was on their watch. And their response after that quarter, in March,
the manager of opposition business. The Prime Minister will continue. Order.
Was to massively increase spending in the vain hope that they would be re-elected in the May 2022 budget. That is just a fact, and it is a fact that on that budget day, they of course had a whole lot of new spending but no savings, and it's also a fact that we produced two budgets that have produced $40 billion of savings. It's also a fact that we overwhelmingly returned the increase in revenue to the bottom line to take pressure off inflation. And that is why Philip Lowe, the Governor of the Reserve Bank, has said on the 2nd of May inflation in Australia has passed its peak. That's why all the ratings agencies have said, including Fitch Ratings, is not likely to contribute to inflationary pressures in the economy. That's why Westpac's Bill Evans said, I don't expect them to put upward pressure on interest rates.